Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. This is Tanush, and today we'll be discussing about the transit of Sun from the sign of Libra into the sign of Scorpio, or the sign of Tula Rashi into the sign of Vrishik Rashi. So, good news is Sun, the king of all the planets, which is right now in the debilitated state or in the marketplace in the sign of Libra or Tula Rashi, will be moving out of Libra on 16th of November into the sign of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is the sign of its best friend Mars, and ideally it should be a good transit, right? Now, just hang on. I'll come back to that later. So, Sun, what does Sun represent? Sun represents our stamina, it represents our soul, it is our ego, it is our confidence, ability to perform things, with confidence. It represents father, it represents government, lot many things, right? So, from 16th of October, Sun was in the sign of Libra and it was debilitated. So it was in low profile, I would say, and now Sun would be coming out of the state of debilitation. Now, one thing is which is a bad thing is Ketu is in the sign of Scorpio in an exalted state, and it is ready to welcome Sun, and it is ready to divorce Sun, right? So what happens whenever Sun comes in conjunction with any planet, right? Like Mercury, Venus, Saturn, any planet, when it comes, any planet which it comes close to Sun, Sun generally combusts that planet, meaning it burns away the good qualities of that planet. But when it comes to Rahu and Ketu, again, the equation changes. So whenever Sun comes, in conjunction with Rahu or Ketu, they eclipse the Sun, and then Sun loses, all its good qualities, right? So it's kind of eclipse, like, this is the Sun, and this is Ketu. So Ketu is going to completely divorce Sun when it is in close degree conjunction in the sign of Scorpio. So that's a bad news, right? Now, what does Ketu represent? So Ketu is a headless entity. It doesn't like to think. It doesn't have any head, right? It is a planet of isolation. It represents letting go of things. It represents, spirituality. And wherever Ketu is placed, it frustrates the person on that particular front where it is placed, right? So that is about Ketu. Now, when Sun comes in conjunction with Ketu is going to eclipse all the good qualities of Sun. Meaning, whatever we discuss, whatever Sun represents, like, Sun represents the government, it represents father, it represents our ego, stamina, our strength, it is the impression which we give to other people, it represents our personality in a sense, right? So all these things are going to take an hit when Sun comes in conjunction with Ketu, right? So it's a bad thing. So not only that, for a particular individual, it's going to impact in three ways, right? So it's going to impact the sign or the house in which Scorpio, basically the house of Scorpio, or the house where Sun and Ketu are going to conjunct in the sign of Scorpio. It is going to impact the house which Sun owns, right? Which means Leo or Simha Rashi, right? So that particular house, based on the ascendant, it's going to get impacted. And third is wherever Sun is placed in your particular chart, so that particular house is also going to take a hit. And Sun and Ketu will directly look opposite to the house of Taurus, and where Rahu is placed, and that is also going to get impacted. Now, that's not all, right? So we are going to have a lunar eclipse followed by a solar eclipse, right? So which means now Sun will be involved in the solar eclipse, obviously, and in a way also in the lunar eclipse, because lunar eclipse is happening exactly opposite to the sign of Scorpio, which is in the sign of Taurus. Now, a lunar eclipse is going to happen on 19th of November, and then solar eclipse is going to happen somewhere on 4th of December, where Moon is also going to get involved in this conjunction. So Sun, Moon, and Ketu will be in conjunction, and that is where this eclipse happens, and then Moon is going to get impacted severely during this eclipse, right? So that's a different topic. I'll not get into that, at least in this video. So now let's see, in brief, how each sign is going to get impacted due to this transit of Sun and then the conjunction of Sun and Ketu, right? Now for Aries ascendant or Mesha Lagna, Sun will be transiting to the 8th house, and Sun is the lord of your 5th house, right? Now the sign of Scorpio is a very intense sign. It's a hidden sign. It's a secretive sign, and it represents, a lot of things which are hidden, or a lot of things which are under the carpet, which the world doesn't know about you, right? And when Sun enters generally into the sign of Scorpio, it brightens that particular dark, dense dark cave, and then things are brought to the surface, and people will come to know about the hidden secrets. But now because Ketu is involved, things are going to change. So for Aries or Mesha Lagna, this is going to happen in the 8th house. 8th house is a natural, signifactor of Scorpio in the Kala Chakra Kundali, and that is where this conjunction is going to happen, right? So now what's going to happen? So we can expect some of your hidden secrets which you are hiding from the world, probably the negative side of you, or the darker side of your personality, that will come out, and people will come to know of that. Now because it is lord of your 5th house, if you are involved in learning occult, this conjunction and transit is going to be extremely helpful for you. So this is a perfect time where you can actually learn about the occult sciences and everything. So it's also a good time for doctors, people who are involved into mining business, people involved in research. It's a wonderful time for them. And from there, Sun and Ketu will be aspecting the 2nd house, so which again implies that your family environment will be kind of disturbed, right? And you will see that your ego will be kind of taking a hit during that time, and your personality will not be as strong as it used to be, earlier. So be a little careful, because your hidden secrets might be revealed during this time. I mean, depending upon whether you have or what kind of secrets you are holding back. So be a little careful about that. Now for Taurus, Sun will transit to the 7th house, and this conjunction of Ketu and Sun is going to happen in a 7th house, and Sun is the lord of your 4th house, right? So two Kendra houses getting impacted. One is the 4th house, second is the 7th house. Now when Sun and Ketu get conjunct in the 7th house, it clearly implies that it's going to cause a lot of issues in your marriage. So you'll see your married life quite turbulent. You'll have issues with your partner. You might have even ego issues with your partner, and you can expect some arguments also, because it's lord of your 4th house. You can have arguments with your mother. Your environment at your home will not be so conducive, and you probably might want to always be out of your house during this time. Now for Gemini, Sun is going to transit into your 6th house. Gemini or Mithun Lagna, Sun is going to transit into your 6th house, and Sun is the lord of your 3rd house. 3rd house of courage, 3rd house of travel, short distance travel, writings, your younger siblings. Now when Sun and Ketu get conjunct in the 6th house, so if you are facing any health issues, or if you are if you have any issues with your spine or stomach, this is the time where it can flare up, right? So they'll get flare up during this time, and you will have to take care of them. So be little alert. Don't exert yourself too much during this time. Be aware of your enemies during this time, because they might have some secret things planned out for you, which might be revealed during the end of this conjunction, you will come to know that something was conspired against you by your enemies, right? So you have to be extremely careful on that front. And if you are planning to have some travel, long distance travel, then you have to be careful on that front. So you'll have to spend some money on your health during this time. And you'll see that your courage will not be up to the mark. You'll always feel that you'll feel short of courage and stamina as well during this period. So be a little aware, especially during the eclipses, because it might impact your health badly. Now coming to Cancer ascendant or Karka Lagna, Sun will transit into your fifth house, and Sun is the lord of your second house, right? So fifth house is one of the best houses, and the Sun Ketu conjunction is going to happen there, and Sun and Ketu are also going to aspect your 11th house where Rahu is currently sitting, right? So what does this imply is that if you have children, if you're married, then you'll see a lot of differences with the children. Or if your children are too young, they may behave weirdly, they may not show interest in studies, and that might kind of irritate you. And if they are grown up, then you'll have a difference of opinion, and then you'll feel kind of isolated from them during this period. If you had planned for taking up some new course, or learning some new things, then it's going to be disturbing time for you. So you might get a feeling that I've got into a wrong stream, but just hang on, it's a temporary transit. You'll see after 15th or 16th of December, things again getting back to normal. Now people who are in the field of acting or entertainment industry like cinema, etc., for them this conjunction is going to be a little tricky. So you might get roles which are quite different than what you are doing. So it might be a very good opportunity for you if you take it in the right spirit, because in long term it's going to help you for sure, right? And because it's a lot of your second house, you can expect some disagreement with your family and your extended family as well. Now for Leo or Simha Lagna, Sun is going to transit into fourth house, and Sun is obviously lord of your ascendant, right? So obviously it's going to impact you, because Sun is the lord of your ascendant, and the first house and fourth house are directly involved during this transit. So two Kendra houses, we can say, are going to get impacted. So what's going to happen is, during this time you'll be forced to look after your some issues at your home environment, and that might kind of irritate you. Your health might take take a dip in stamina. I mean, in terms of having some mild fever or some viral fever during this period, or common cold or something like that. That might kind of irritate you and keep you busy. And you'll obviously feel short of confidence and courage, because Sun being lord of your ascendant, obviously it's going to impact your confidence levels as well. And if your mother is kind of facing some health issues, then this time your worries will increase a little bit. You might have to take care of your mother, so be a little careful on that front. So it's a temporary phase, again it's going to get over, especially on 16th of December. So till then you will have to be little careful, and be calm and take responsibility, I will say, because that might kind of irritate you. So be calm and peaceful, and be ready to take the responsibility. Now for Virgo, Sun will transit into your third house of courage, third house of your siblings, of writings, and is the lord of your 12th house. So what does this mean is that during this time you might have to spend some money on your siblings, on your younger siblings especially. You might have to take on some travels, and these travels will not be quite fruitful, and you might get a sense that you are wasting your time, energy, as well as money with these travels. And if you are a writer, again it will take you into a state of confusion. So your courage is going to take a dip during this time, because third house represents courage, and this conjunction is happening in the third house, right? So again, it's a temporary period, so just wait for some time. So your expenses will be very high during this period, so you have to take care of your expenses, right? Now for Libra ascendant, or for Tula Lagna, Sun is going to transit into your second house, right? And Sun is a lot of your 11th house of gains. Now one good thing is, it's Sun is going out of your ascendant, right? So Sun might have created issues specifically related to health, and also related to your family as well. But the good thing is, it is going out, it is stepping out of your ascendant. But again, Ketu is ready to receive Sun there, and this conjunction is happening in your second house. So what you can expect is, you will be kind of isolated from your family. If you had any issues with your ancestral property, so this is the time where things might go worse, or things might may seem to be directionless. Your money will be completely blocked during this time, because it is a lot of your 11th house. 11th house is house of gains, and then this conjunction is happening in the second house. Second house is your savings, right? So both the wealth houses are involved in this conjunction. So your money might get stuck, and if you are planning to invest somewhere during this period, just hang on, till the Sun transits the sign and this conjunction is over. So don't get into investment mode, or purchasing any land or property. Just wait for some time, wait for this conjunction to clear off, and then you can go ahead with your plans. Now for Scorpio ascendant or Vrishik Lagna people, Sun is obviously transiting into your ascendant, and Sun is a lot of your 10th house, right? So 10th house is house of career, and during this period you will see that you'll have issues with your boss or your reporting manager. You'll have conflict of ideas. It might give you a feeling that you're losing your identity at workplace, right? So it might give you that feeling. You might get projects or work which is quite off track from what you have been doing, or the kind of experience you have. So it might be a little different, and you might be irritated because of that, and you'll have to put a lot of effort. But again, it's a temporary period, it's going to go away. And especially you'll have to take care of your health during this period, because this conjunction might give you some issues related to heat, right? Some issues related to pitta, some health issues, minor health issues. So take care of that. Now for Sagittarius ascendant or Dhanu Lagna, Sun will transit into your 12th house, and it is a lot of your 9th house. So what does this mean is that if you had planned to travel, especially to the foreign countries, probably your visa and everything might be ready, but things will be delayed. Things will be delayed for unknown reasons. And it's better not to travel during this period if you are planning to travel. And if you are planning to go for visa, or expedite the process of visa, then this period you will see unnecessary delays, unnecessary stumbling blocks coming in your path, and this might create frustration, a lot of frustration for you. But again, it's a temporary phase. So just hang on till mid of December, till the conjunction eases out, and then things will be much better. You might have a feeling that you are not very clear about your future, or your future plans might seem to be going off track. But again, it's a temporary transit. So you might feel that intensity because eclipse is going to happen, and Sun is going to get involved in the eclipse. So the feeling might be very intense for almost everyone. So that is the reason I'm repeatedly saying that just hang on till mid of December, because it is going to give you a lot of frustration on different fronts. So just wait for a good time to come, and then things will be again back to normal. Now, for Capricorn ascendant or Makar Lagna, Sun is going to transit into 11th house and is a lot of 8th house, right? So, one prediction is that this might give you, you know, gains from unknown source, right? So, unexpected gains from unexpected sources, uh, you can expect that. People who are again involved in occult learning, occult sciences, or who are into all this, learning all the tantric siddhis, or kundalini and all those things. So for those kind of people, this is going to be an excellent transit. So it favors a lot. So if you are into all those practices, then you can put lot of effort on that front, and it's going to yield you excellent results during this period, right? So utilize the time properly. Then you can also find some issues in your network circle. People who are very close to you might behave weirdly with you, but you can expect that. So don't take that very seriously. Now, for Aquarius ascendant or Kumbha Lagna, Sun is going to transit your 10th house and is the lord of your 7th house. So again, two very powerful houses, two Kendra houses are involved, are going to get impacted, and they are involved in this transit. So what does this represent? Again, 10th house represents your career, right? So when Sun and Ketu, already Ketu sitting there is giving you a lot of confusion, right? Now, Sun is going to come there to add to the confusion. But Sun does very good, in the 10th house. But again, when it comes with Ketu, it loses its identity, right? So again, you can expect some issues with your superiors, with your reporting managers. You can get a feeling that your career is going off track, or things are going out of your hand. If you are handling any critical projects, then during this time you might get frustrated because things will seem not to be working for you, or you can face a lot of resistance, or a lot of blocks will come on your path. So be steady, be determined. These things will go. Similarly, because seventh house is involved, seventh house is house of partnership, houses business, house of your spouse and marriage. So if you are planning for marriage, I would suggest you to wait for one more month. Otherwise, it's going to unnecessarily create a lot of confusion, and your relation with your spouse is going to get impacted. So you might feel that your married life is kind of getting isolated, or you are living in silos, and you don't know what your partner is doing, your partner doesn't know what you're doing. But again, in the future, things are going to go back to track. So just hang on again, till Sun transits to the next sign. Now, for Pisces ascendant or Meena Lagna, Sun will transit to your 9th house and is the lord of your 6th house. So Sun does good in 9th house because it's one of the Dharma houses, and because Sun and Ketu are involved there, and Ketu obviously favors spiritual life. So this period is especially very good for your spiritual practices. So if you are finding proper guru for your spiritual life, or you want guidance from some proper person, then this is the time you can look out, and you'll find for that person who can guide you through to the spiritual path. You can undertake journeys to different places of pilgrimage, places of worship. This transit surely favors that. So if you have any plans to travel to foreign lands, then just hang on again for one more month, because you will face a lot of issues if you travel during this period. So first of all, it will not allow you to travel. It will create unnecessary delays, and even if it allows, then you'll see your travel will not be very smooth. And once you land in the foreign lands, then it's going to create a lot of confusion, and things will not be easy for you to settle down. So if possible, it's better to delay your journey. because 6000 is involved, you can expect some minor health issues during this period, and also your enemies will be very active during this period, and you have to take care of that. So guys, these were my thoughts on the transit of Sun to the sign of Scorpio and the Ketu and Sun conjunction happening. So if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, meet you again with the next video. Thank you so much.